I'm Pete Mitchell, and you are listening to Revolutions in Music, the story of Led Zeppelin.
You have these four renowned musicians really coming together, and and in the vacuum that the Beatles are leaving, suddenly, they do become the biggest band in the world. But it doesn't always work when you get just amazing musicians in a band together, ostensibly what you might call kind of a supergroup mentality. It doesn't always work when you get such identifiable musicians together where they're all powerhouses, and that was the danger with Led Zeppelin, where they overpower each other, but they never did.
James Dean Bradfield, vocalist and guitarist with Manic Street Preachers, became obsessed with Led Zeppelin in his early teens.
It was really weird because I had a few Zeppelin albums, because I was of that age that there was a few like metal kids in my street that were always older kind of thing, and you'd end up getting a couple of records off them. I remember having the first 3 Zeppelin records on vinyl, all really scratched up, and there were a few tracks that just really caught me straight away. Good Times, Bad Times off the first record. Absolutely got bang into Jimmy Page straight away, and all of them, John, the 2 Johns, and kind of like and Percy, it was just such an organic, natural beast. It seemed that it came together by accident, by serendipity.
So growing up learning to play the guitar, what do you notice about the style of Jimmy Page and his playing?
It's very detailed, but also it's not pedantically tight. He has a looseness to his playing as well. So you can't really copy him, because it's what I suppose some people call feel or soul. He's not that obsessed with trying to record a perfect version of a solo or a perfect version of a rhythm guitar take or a riff. There's so many little bits of feel and looseness in there that he leaves in that you can't copy him. It's just that thing of, I spent a lot of my youth trying to learn. By youth, I mean from the age of 16 to 20.
That's your youth.
Yeah, when I learned the riff to Good Times, Bad Times, I was very, very pleased with myself.
Yeah. James Dean Bradfield of Manic Street Preachers.
Is Whole Lot of Love one of the greatest records ever made?
For me, it's an obvious track to go to. That's me just being a Zeppelin nerd. There are other songs which I love. But kind of it's got an undeniable carnal kind of quality to it which you can't deny. I never stop finding out stuff in the Zeppelin back catalogue. But you go on a mad journey with Led Zeppelin. You listen to the first 3 albums, and those albums are very formed and quite tight and rehearsed, I suppose. But then, by the time you get to Physical Graffiti, they are jamming.
It's something else, isn't it? Yeah.
There is a spontaneity there, which they're jumping upon, they're pouncing upon it, and they're just going, "No, let's not do the take again." There may be mistakes in there, but there's something very vital and organic about what we just did, and they're leaving it there. And Jimmy Page came to see us at the Royal Albert Hall in 1997. I think, on the Other From Must Go album. And he stayed at the after show party after, and I saw him, and I'd never seen him before, and I was stopped in my tracks. And he came up to me, and he was really gracious, and he talked to me, and he said, "Oh, you used the open G tuning on that acoustic song you did." And it was a moment in my life. I was floored, I was humbled, I was flabbergasted.